Thursday or Friday?
Mom, I can't find my seat.
No. 6:30, I can't make it. I've got too much stuff to do.
Hey, where you going? I'm going to Susie's for dinner, remember?
Between work, soccer practice, school, PTA meetings, it's hard to find time to be a family.
Well, if it's a problem, we could give up school.
Yeah.
That's very noble of you.
When we do get time together, we want to make the most of it. And thank goodness we all like the outdoors. ATV riding is the best.
It's a blast.
And it's something we can all do together.
Come on, admit it. You guys weren't all that hot in the idea when Christine and I suggested it.
We're parents. We worry.
Well.
That's our job. Besides, we've seen you two playing sports.
You're not exactly reserved when it comes to any activity. Just wanted to make sure you knew what you were doing before we bought our first ATV.
The kids had to go to an ATV training class.
I wasn't talking about the kids, dear.
We all needed to go to the training class. For this family, that wasn't an option. It was mandatory. This isn't like riding a bicycle. You have to know what you're doing, how to turn, how to go up a hill. The training class, combined with reading and following the important warnings and labels on the ATV and in the owner's manual, is a perfect way to learn proper riding. Plus, the classes are fun. You get a chance to meet other riders and find out where the best trails are. We all had a great time. But most important, we wanted to make sure that the kids knew what they were doing.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Dad, but we weren't the ones who had problems starting the ATV.
Yeah, well,
As the kids were growing up, there were times I wish the emergency room gave out frequent flyer mileage. When they were younger, these two really pushed the envelope of what was safe. Whether climbing trees, playing sports, heck, even cooking.
Hey, we just like to have fun.
Besides, without us, you would have no excitement in your life.
Apparently to a kid, panic and excitement are the same thing. So when they started asking to ride ATVs, we waited a few years until we felt they were mature enough to handle them safely. Not only did they have to be the right age and size, they also had to have the right level of responsibility. The guidelines are pretty clear. Under 70cc, age 6 and older, a 90cc engine or less for kids 12 and older, and there are some models only people 18 years and older can ride, though most of the other sizes are approved for kids 16 and older. ATV is not a toy, and we never let them ride unsupervised. They are definitely mature enough to ride, just not alone.
now if they were just mature enough to clean their own room,
My father taught me the meaning of the words responsibility and maturity. The word fun, I learned on my own. Now, as a kid, you think that there's no way fun can go hand in hand with responsibility and maturity. As an adult, you realize it has to.
Yes, old wise one.
I know it doesn't look like it, but believe it or not, my kids have handled their share of responsibility around this farm from the time that they were about 10.
He calls it responsibility. We call it work.
Oh, you two catch on quick.
We use ATVs on this farm a lot. They're part of our everyday work, but we never take safety for granted. Every time we get on one of these things, proper helmet, gloves, boots, and goggles are standard equipment. Also long pants and a long sleeve shirt. And these kids may think that they're indestructible, but they've only got one head, so the helmet is the most important.
The first time that I tried to ride without goggles on, all kinds of stuff flew in my eyes. Bugs, dirt, leaves, maybe even a small airplane.
Yeah.
From that point on, goggles every time.
And brush by a bush or a tree on an ATV, and you'll see why long pants and a long sleeve shirt are real important. I don't care how hot it gets. Shorts and t-shirts just don't mix with ATVs.
There's no sport you play without the right safety gear. No outdoor activity you do without the right equipment. The same thing goes for ATVs.
There are a lot of words you could use to describe our household. Harmony is not one of them.
Mom, Christine took my green
You'd think the word sharing was a four-letter word.
At least with ATV riding, there was no sharing allowed. We learned in our ATV safety class that you should never ride double on an ATV, even though the seat may seem big enough.
You see, to ride an ATV, you have to be able to shift your weight to maintain your balance, forward and backward as you go up and down hills and side to side when making turns. With the passenger, that would be impossible.
Mom, someone took my helmet.
Speaking of impossible,
We've always taken the kids to the mountains. Since they were old enough to walk, we've enjoyed the outdoors.
These machines get a real workout. We use them on the farm, when camping, even for fishing. And when my dad took me fishing, we'd have to pack into the high country on horses. Now, ATVs are pretty low maintenance compared to horses. With horses, you have to feed them, water them, groom them. These kids have it so much easier these days.
Here we go. I had to walk to school in the snow 12 miles.
Uphill, both ways.
My kids, funny kids, don't you think? One thing I have taught them to respect from day one is nature. We only ride where we're supposed to and never off the trail. Not only is it unsafe to ride on unfamiliar ground, it can also hurt the environment. If ATV riders don't stay on the trail, the ranger would end up prohibiting ATVs altogether. So, if we want to keep on riding out there, we have to respect the environment. If I couldn't ride an ATV, I'd have to get back up on that horse. And I don't want that.
None of us want that.
Finding an activity we all liked was so important.
We like the fact that this teaches our kids responsibility. Just don't tell them that. They think we're only out here to have fun.
You just have to ride safe.
And ride smart.